This week at Daily Motor headquarters, we had two excellent cars, both on opposite ends of the spectrum in
No, Charlie, direct competitors.
direct competitors to each other. The 2023 Volkswagen Jetta Sport and the 2023 BMW 760i. Time for me to eat.
Are we recording?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we hope you all are eating enthusiasts, specifically ASMR eating, because today we are eating lunch during episode 71 of the Daily Motor Podcast.
I guess it's not too common that we eat during the Daily Motor Podcast.
It's not. No, it's
we
not.
We eat during lunch with Daily Motor.
Yeah.
And we drink during the Daily Motor Podcast.
Yes.
I guess I didn't bring a water. Is this? This has water in it.
I got you a Jamocha shake.
Yeah, thank you. I don't like using the shakes as my like food
Because then
lube,
you don't.
though, because then it sucks down the Instead, I'd rather use this industrial water that I have. Oof, it's so metallic.
You want one of the many water bottles that's on my desk?
Oh, what about that one by our whiteboard? What's the story with that? I'll take that one. You want to pour it into my Hev cup?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's how friendly we are here at Daily Motor. We just drink each other's waters. It's a very Charlie move, tossing the water bottle.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here?
So I've got mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
And tenders and fries.
How are they?
Very good.
Yeah. Chris and I believe that Arby's is, quote, slept on. Because I feel like they've got this reputation of just, like, only having roast beef sandwiches and that's it. But they've got a lot of good... Oh, well, and curly fries. They're always known for their curly fries. But they actually have some fresher things, like salads and chicken salad sandwiches. And they've got Reubens, which I've never tried. But I've got some classic curly fries here. They also have chicken nuggets, which we haven't tried.
You got something I've never heard of.
Yeah, this is a limited time thing. This is a barbecue rib slider. Maybe, when people get sad that when McDonald's takes away the McRib, maybe they can go to Arby's. Now.
Makes sense.
I think the other reason that we don't go to Arby's very often is usually in the same area as other fast foods, and we typically just go there.
True.
I'm a big Taco Bell enthusiast.
Oh, that's right. I'm not that big of a Taco Bell enthusiast. I like it, but I don't go out of my way for it.
Right. Can we point out that 2 years ago for Mama, we drove out there in Chris's 4Runner. Of all the cars that we have and we drive, we drove a 2006 4Runner.
Yeah, why did we do that? He wanted to do that.
He always likes to drive his personal cars out.
He does.
Oh. This year he'll be driving the Civic Type R. That's good. Maybe
Reconnect me, it says politely.
Maybe we've finally been kicked off, removed. Possible.
Think they found out.
Maybe. Not saying who they is.
And they stole our trailer as punishment.
Yes, welcome. Episode 71 of the Daily Motor Podcast. I had something I was going to ask you. What were we just talking about before?
4Runner?
No, like before we started recording. Oh, I was going to ask, did the drive-thru attendant at Arby's ask you about your G70 BMW sensors?
No.
Oh.
No, they didn't care at all.
They must be more Mercedes people.
Probably. Or Audi A8L, perhaps. Or Genesis G90, maybe.
I wonder how the new A8 is.
Probably just like an Audi. It's probably pretty good, though.
The first press car I ever picked Alyssa up in was an A8.
I thought it was a yellow Boxster.
Nope. That was our second date.
So on your first date with Alyssa, you took her out in an Audi A8. That probably gave a good first impression. Is that why did you strategically do that?
No, it's just so happened to have that car.
Oh.
That car was nice, but I'm not a big fan of the infotainment system because it's that Audi thing where you have to like click down on the screen, very haptic-y. This rib slider doesn't exactly look what you'd call appealing, does it?
It looks like charcoal.
And it's a very squishy bun. Oh my god. Tastes really good though. Mm. Mm-hmm. It's a very sweet barbecue sauce.
So, go to sleep.
See, the thing is, Chris and I usually try to strategically eat before the podcast so that we're all full of energy and have a lot of things to tell you.
Yeah, why did we choose to eat during it today? I need to go get my water.
Efficiency.
Fiji water. Hold on. Entertain them by eating for a second.
Yeah, this is a I can't remember the specific name of this slider, but it's like hickory or bourbon something or other. Yeah, it does taste really good.
Bourbon barbecue. I've got a little bit of an Evian and a little bit of a Fiji.
I was going to comment on that. Which do you prefer?
Evian.
Yeah.
Evian's my favorite water. It's so smooth.
Evian's actually considered to be like one of the top tier waters.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Do you know a lot of bottled water is just like tap water from like some Midwestern state that they've just put in a bottle?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're paying for the labor. You're not actually paying in the plastic.
Mm-hmm. And the convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any takers?
Go ahead.
Any takers on your mother's 3 Series yet?
No, but if you would like to buy a 2016 BMW 328i xDrive blue over Dakota saddle leather, hit me up. DM me on Instagram at topher.brower because we're still trying to sell it. I've got it. I stuck it up on my Instagram just because I thought maybe a subscriber would want to buy it. I had a couple people interested, but no one really serious. And then put it on Craigslist and I put it on Auto Trader, but I have not put it on Facebook because I'm taking a break from degenerates.
Here's the problem with that car. It's just barely too nice and expensive for like your casual 3 Series bro who's still driving E90s. And it's too old and inexpensive for like someone who is looking for like a CPO, like your mom, like for the person who's looking to spend more like 25, 30 grand for a BMW. It's in that very weird in between. So it's a tough deal because it is a very nice car.
Yeah.
Napkins? Oh, I got Little Caesars napkins here.
Would you like a mozzarella stick? Have you ever had their mozzarella sticks?
I don't think so.
You
Are you willing to give me a whole one, or do you want to?
I'm willing.
Split
No,
it in half?
I had 3. I only wanted 3.
I don't want any sauce, but thank you.
Okay.
That's very square. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's a little cold, but I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
If you like mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks kind of crack me up because it's like, would you typically just take a block of cheese like this and eat it?
No, but it's deep fried.
Right. You've made it less healthy, and therefore you would eat it.
They're better when they're hot, but
Tastes like a mott stick.
Yeah. It's still crispy enough, though.
Did you guys have Bosco sticks in school?
Yes. I think every school had Bosco sticks, didn't they?
Probably not like wealthy schools.
I thought maybe your school wouldn't because there were only like 6 people that went to it.
Oh yeah, we were a wealthy school, and we had Bosco sticks. No.
Yeah.
I would buy your mother's 3 Series if it were a Lexus.
So if it were a Lexus IS in the same spec.
ES.
ES. Okay. Oh, that's right, because you sent me one.
Yeah, Alyssa wants a new car because she's spoiled. And she doesn't.
Alyssa,
she doesn't find the Maverick to be nice enough. I think a 2016 to 18 Lexus ES would be perfect for it. ES 300 hybrid.
How much are those?
About 20 grandish, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. How good, like, how nice that car will be for so long. You get 40 miles per gallon. Regular fuel.
That could be the only car she ever drives for the rest of her life.
Yeah. I agree.
I have a napkin.
Yes. Little Caesars napkin.
Oh, we did get napkins. They're all in my office.
Well, we'll use those the next time we eat something from Culver's.
That's what we should have gotten.
Car news this week. I feel like there was something.
Was there something this week?
There's got to be something. There's always something.
I got you. Hold on. All car news.
How do you feel about the new Ranger? Or not Ranger, Wrangler. I think it looks
seen
nice.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Chris and I don't really typically follow new cars until we have
News from the UK. McLaren 750S.
them. Oh yeah, we have a lot of
That's
McLaren
new.
buyers in our podcast.
That's right. What else?
Is that just the
Oh,
next
no.
720?
They've stopped making the Audi TT in Japan, or selling it, excuse me.
Oh,
Yes,
I actually do have news.
Okay.
They've stopped selling the Chevy Bolt.
Oh, I saw that.
That's quite sad.
That is sad.
We've recommended the Bolt quite a lot here.
Yeah, you have.
Now if you want a cheap EV, you gotta get a Leaf, which I think they're also discontinuing, right?
Yeah.
The new Mini. Have you seen that? That looks quite good.
Yes. Also, news from Sweden. You can now get the black edition on the Volvo XC60.
Okay. I'd still get the S60.
I would as well. Well, we're civilized people, so of course.
Slow news and car news, I guess.
Yeah.
I drove the Chevy Trax.
Oh yeah. Are you allowed to talk about it yet?
By the time this comes out.
Oh, okay.
If you've hacked into our computer and are listening to this podcast before it's released,
This is alleged.
You're not allowed to hear this.
And this is also alleged.
Mm-hmm. I was quite frankly blown away. I expected the Trax to be trash.
We love GM cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Now that the Bolt is no longer an option, the Trax might be one of my favorite Chevys.
Wow.
Just think about it.
That's good because the current gen Trax, or the previous gen, whatever you want to call it, is dreadful.
Dreadful. Let's go through Chevy's lineup. I wouldn't buy a Silverado.
Why?
Sierra exists.
Oh, you get the GMC.
Yep. I wouldn't buy a Traverse because everything else exists. I wouldn't buy an Equinox because I don't want to be labeled as an Equinox buyer. I wouldn't buy a Trailblazer.
But there are also many other reasons why you wouldn't buy an Equinox. It's not just because you don't want to be seen in an Equinox. I understand that that's part of it, but there are many other reasons.
Yes. Can't buy a Camaro anymore because they're gone. Can't buy a Corvette anymore because no one will give you a Z06 because they probably all upcharged by $50,000.
We get a Z06.
Excuse me? Can we get it?
Can we get a Z06?
No, I've asked.
Oh.
I should know. Amos has like 10 million views and they still won't give him one. Yep. So are those all the other Chevys? I believe so. Oh, Colorado.
Malibu. They still make the Malibu, don't they?
No. Check.
How sure are you?
2024 Malibu? I almost guarantee it's dead. 23 maybe, but they've stopped making it recently. I'll have to give Chris the title of my Maverick, if he's correct.
Really?
No.
I'll take you up on that.
I already owe you one title.
True. Yep, they're making it for 24.
What? You can get a 2024 Chevy Malibu?
Yep.
Is there a build configurator? I didn't know.
And there's a new gen coming in 2025.
I thought that car was... Wait, I thought Chevy said they're not making cars anymore. Or is that just Ford?
No, Ford said that like 5 years ago.
Well, I apologize, everyone. Now
Harley's gaslighting all of you.
Yeah, I would get a Malibu, and I'd get a Colorado.
What about Canyon?
Canyons cost too much. Canyon starts at 40 grand. I'd still get a Frontier over the Colorado, but I would consider a Colorado. And I would now consider a Trax. The packaging is so good with that car. There's a ton of room in the back seat. You could like straight up fit a rear-facing car seat without even sliding the front seats forward, which you cannot say about the CX-30 and the HRV. And most other, and the Corolla Cross has a good amount of room as well.
HRV's got a ton of room in the back.
I bet you the Trax has more. It's really good.
HRV has a lot of room in the back seat.
I know you're a big HRV enthusiast.
I'm not.
Do you remember what the top level trim costs? Is it over 30?
I think it is, yeah.
Top level Chevy Trax, 26 grand. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Base model, 21. $21,000. And
I
it
have
has
a
a
Volkswagen
3-cylinder.
Jetta.
I was thinking about that. I would have a Jetta if I were single, but if I had a family, I'd get the Trax.
So you have to bend over to put a car seat in the Jetta.
Mm-hmm. And there's more room in the Trax. But yeah, you're right. The Jetta would get much better fuel economy, and you can have it in a manual.
Yes.
Trax looks better though, a lot better
Than the previous gen.
than and the Jetta.
Mm.
hmm Oh my gosh, yeah, the previous gen Trax was just
It's disgusting.
terrible car.
Sorry if you own a Trax. Or
No, he's not.
or
Do better.
Are listening.
Get the new one. Go right now.
Someone's listening to this in their Trax. Sorry.
I feel like the Trax is just one of those cars that even if you do own it, you have to admit it's ugly, like just unappealing. Yeah. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Have I owned any ugly cars? Is the Prius ugly?
The Town and Country.
Town and Country's not ugly.
Okay.
All right. Well, here, there's the Town and Country. I'll hold it up for the viewers to see.
Okay.
That's exactly what mine looked like.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except mine had different headlights because it was a long wheelbase.
That's true, and he had PlayStations in the back instead of Xboxes.
That car was beautiful. I could see somebody saying the Prius was ugly. The
Yeah.
second gen Prius. But my M35 looked good. My Focus looked very good. The Taurus is just meh. 924 is kind of cool looking. Boxster.
I think your old 924 might be for sale.
Oh, is it up in the Lansing area?
No.
Is it 924S?
Yes. Hold on. Stand by.
Okay, standing by. What else have I owned? The Maverick's kind of weird looking, but I wouldn't say ugly. Tesla Model Y, I wouldn't say ugly.
Ah, maybe it has already sold. On today's podcast, Charlie goes through all of his cars and decides if they were ugly or not.
Fort Wayne, Indiana. 924S, 87. A lot of Haildings.
Did yours have Haildings?
No, seats were different.
Oh.
Yeah, interior was different.
Pretty cheap, though, for that car.
$3,500. Yeah, well, that's about what they go for. I sold mine for probably about $4,000 or so. I traded it technically, but the value was
What did you trade it for?
a 2012 Kawasaki Ninja 650. Right. That's how I got into bikes. Yep. No, this one, the fact that this says it drives well and it actually doesn't look that bad. Yeah, that's decent. Those are still like if you just needed a daily driver and you want to be different and cool.
Is it reliable for you?
Sure.
I just got to keep up with
like,
the timing belt services.
300 miles on it.
Oh my God. Okay. So
I never bought it to like own it.
Yeah.
I just bought it to flip. Yeah. If I didn't have the Boxster, I would have kept it.
What did you buy it for? How much did you pay for it?
I think like $3,000. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And I think I sold that motorcycle for like $4,800.
Okay, so you made a couple G's.
Yep. I didn't really put any money into the Porsche. What do you think the ugliest car you ever owned is? Not counting the Malibu.
I forgot about that car. I don't even count that car. I don't know. I don't think I've ever owned anything ugly.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Probe.
Probe's not ugly.
Probe's not ugly, but it's not exactly like, it's just there.
No, it's cool looking. It looks like a spaceship.
Okay.
You're allowed to say your Town and Country is not ugly. I'm allowed to say my Probe wasn't ugly. I don't know. Let me go on VinWiki and see what cars I've owned because I don't even know.
Yeah, you really haven't owned any like ugly cars because you could argue my Town and Country was ugly and you could argue my Prius was ugly. Well,
yeah, all of my cars are very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never had anything.
The GS is an acquired taste.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the front end of the GS looks like that thing from
Monsters Inc.
No,
oh yeah, Bugs
Life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It does look like an insect.
I loved that GS, and I think it's probably no more now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it popped up on Marketplace and it was collapsed. But the person I sold it to put like 30,000 miles on it, so I mean, at least they like got some use out of it. Because I sold it with like 170 and it popped up with 200 on it. So someone drove the crap out of it because it popped up for sale only like a year and a half after I sold it, I think. So someone was driving it. But yeah, it popped up with no keys. The mirror was knocked off, the passenger side, clean off, and one of the tires was flat, and it was filthy. So
Are you sure it wasn't stolen?
Could have been stolen. Yeah.
This slider is a bit disappointing. It's not.
Looks very small.
Yeah, there's not enough chicken in it. Mostly bun. Come on, Arby's. I saw on Facebook Marketplace the other day the entire interior for a 2015 to 2022 Dodge Charger.
Oh.
Can't imagine why someone was
No.
just taking the interior out of their personal car.
Save weight.
Oh.
Save weight. Yeah.
That's
That's why they do it.
mm-hmm. Certainly wasn't because...
No.
All right. All right. Question.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to eliminate all British car brands, but you could only keep one, which brand would you keep?
Aston Martin.
You keep Aston over Bentley?
Yeah.
What about JLR?
I'd have to keep Aston Martin. I think they're one of the coolest brands ever.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't really care for the looks of the new Vantage, though.
You could argue Lotus as well. Lotus or McLaren. A lot of good ones to argue. I think I'd stick with Aston Martin though.
Yeah, I'd get rid of McLaren. No qualms with that. Lotus would be like sad, but I've never driven one, so I don't know. Have you driven a Lotus?
Yeah, Evora.
Was it cool?
Yeah. It was a DCT Evora. I don't know. It was some special Evora. I don't remember. Evora GT or something. I didn't drive it far. I drove it like a mile. But
how's Matthew doing, by the way? Speaking of Lotus.
oh, he's good. He's good. Yeah.
He and Yulia doing well?
They are. As far as I know.
All right.
Yeah. He seems a lot happier, so I'm happy for him.
It's good to have a nice woman in your
Happy
life,
for him. Yeah, it is. Now all he needs to do is get a car, Matthew, if you're listening.
Yeah. Come on,
Come on, Matthew.
We've recommended some great
Live a
options
little,
to you
man.
here.
Yeah, even the viewers have recommended, or
Yeah,
the
thank
listeners.
you, viewers and listeners.
I feel like we're kind of low energy today.
Yeah, we are.
A little bit. Not as chaotic as we sometimes are. Should we talk about what we drove this week?
This week at Daily Motor Headquarters, we had two excellent cars, both on opposite ends of the spectrum in
No, Charlie, direct competitors.
direct competitors to each other. The 2023 Volkswagen Jetta Sport and the 2023 BMW 760i. Which would you like to hear about first, viewers?
Talk about the Jetta.
Okay. Quite liked the Jetta.
Yeah, me too.
Chris and I were both excited to get it because it is a 6-speed manual.
Yes. Quite a good manual.
And
in the ease factor.
you know, I gotta tip my hat to Volkswagen PR for putting this car out in the press fleet, because PR companies almost always put out their nicest top level trim for two main reasons. One, a lot of journalists don't like to critically think. They don't like to think critically. They don't like to dig below the surface, which is a bit ironic because the whole concept of journalism should be trying to get, dig below the surface and get the deeper story. But a lot of them simply like to walk out to their driveway. They drive whatever car it's there. And as long as CarPlay works well and
They have a massaging seat.
yeah, massaging seat or at least heated seats, then they'll be pacified. But if they get in any sort of car and it's missing a feature that they feel like it should have, then immediately the car is rubbish. So
Yeah.
manufacturers are always trying to show off all their fanciest and newest stuff to get good reviews. And I kind of get it, because it's like, all right, if you have a good Bose sound system or something like that, like, show it off. I get it. Or a beautiful interior or something. But realistically, that's not what most people are buying. This Jetta is essentially a base model.
Yeah. It's like one trim up from base.
Right, which is nearly what I would purchase if I were in that market, and I kind of am. So I appreciated actually getting to spend time in it because it was a nice, mature car.
It was mature for the segment, and for being only about 24 grand. Nice place to be. It feels higher end probably than it actually is, but it's like you said, it's a mature package. It drives well. The 6-speed manual is really easy to operate. You could stick someone in that car that has never driven a manual before, and they'd probably get the hang of it pretty quick.
There's a lot less rev hang in that car than the Civic. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
The Civic, every shift you have to wait 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3 before you can let the clutch back out.
Yeah.
Not in the Jetta. You can actually drive that very
yeah,
reasonably.
it's easy. So good car. Good amount of space in the back seat. Usable. I mean, it's got plenty of torque.
The trunk's pretty decent sized too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good amount of torque. Like,
Understated.
you can actually like hustle that car. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's fun to drive. Steering's nice.
And 50 miles per gallon on our highway fuel economy test.
That's right. Yeah.
Record breaker, and I can't think of anything that'll beat that record for a long time.
I said that in the video. I'm like, this is a record for me because I didn't know if maybe you had gotten that much in a car before, but I was like, for me, this is a record, and I don't really see anything beating this. So
Yeah.
this will be on top for a while. Yeah.
Right. I mean, we consider anything over 40 to be quite good, and I mean, 50 is just crazy.
Yeah.
Especially, you're not dealing with any hybridization. You're not dealing with any crazy, funky Atkinson cycle, fancy this, that.
Which
I don't think
know,
it's Atkinson
I don't even
cycle.
know what that means.
This is just and motor.
Yep.
Paired to and transmission.
Paris and Nicole.
Yep. And it just putzes along.
That's right.
We felt this way about the Passat as well. The Passat, not really that fancy, not really that special or anything. But you got to admit, if you're going to go cruise on the highway, the Passat had like a 700-mile cruising range.
Yeah, what MPGs did it get?
Like 40.
40.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for just a nice, quiet place that sips fuel for putting on miles on a car.
Didn't the BMW X1 get 40? Didn't I get that in that? 40?
Yes, but...
I'm not comparing it.
Sure,
I'm just
sure. But yes,
trying to remember.
it was about 40.
I think it got 40,
Yeah. Problems with the Passat, or with the Jetta. Bit drab looking outside.
Yeah, just bland. Definitely bland.
I
doesn't have proxy key.
Right, yeah, the one we had was a real physical key, but you step up to the SE model and you can mend that. Just not as fun and exciting as some of the other cars in that segment.
Even though we just said it was fun and exciting to hustle.
Only because of the manual.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and there is something to be said for that, because I think only the Civic, the Corolla, and the Jetta will give you a manual. I don't think you can get the Forte with a manual. Oh, you can get an Elantra and Line with a manual, I think, but I don't know if you can.
And
get
a Forte GT.
I don't think in 2024, I think they killed it.
Oh, did they? Well, the DCT is so good that whatever.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of crazy though that you could get a Forte GT for I think the same price, like 26?
Yeah. Wow. Hope you all love that noise. I know I do. Will Charlie get the rest of his Jamocha? Find out in 10 seconds. Was that a satisfying shake? Was it good?
That's good. Thank you for getting it.
I've never had a Jamocha shake.
It pretty much tastes like mostly a chocolate, like a hint of coffee.
I was going to say, I figured it was...
Hence the
Well, that's what mocha is. Mocha is
yeah.
just like hot chocolate. It's coffee for people that don't want to fully commit to coffee.
Right. Make sure you send me a Venmo request. I'll scoot some cash over your way.
Thank you. I'll send you a Venmo request, and then I'll remind you 5 seconds later.
Oh my gosh, it was days later, Chris. Days.
Anyways.
I went onto Volkswagen's inventory and looked around for Jettas.
Okay. Any manuals?
Yeah. Yeah,
Really?
There's one up in Livonia, I think.
Okay.
SE, pretty much what we'd want to get. I think I would take the Civic.
It'd be tough for me to choose between, because you could get a Boost Blue hatchback manual. Although that would be like 28 grand, so.
Would it?
Probably.
I think it's only like 26.
Because they'll only
the
give
Civic
you a manual.
SI starts at like 27.
Yeah, but they'll
right?
only give you a manual with the high trim in the Civic, right? In the hatch.
No, you can get the sport hatch.
Oh yeah, but then you don't get Bose.
No,
I'd have to have Bose.
right, but you're comparing it against the literal like 2018 Bluetooth speaker that's in the Jetta.
Oh yeah, what did you end up rating it?
E. Because here's the thing, a C sound system.
Have you ever given anything an E?
No, it's literally the Jetta got the best fuel economy result we've ever had and the worst sound system result we've ever had.
Well,
yeah,
that averages it out.
Yep.
Middle of the pack.
A C sound system should be average. It should be like, okay, like it's music. Like it doesn't hurt your ears, but it doesn't like, you're not like, ooh. A D should be like I wish this had a subwoofer, but like it sounds fine. E is getting to the point where it's like, I don't actually want to listen to music in this car, which was the case for you on your fuel economy test.
I listened to a podcast, to Tedward's podcast, because I want to find time to like catch up on the podcasts that I like.
So you just,
but
need
I would
sound
always
systems.
just rather like listen to music because I like to have music, and the Jetta was a great excuse to listen to a podcast because I mean it's.
Chris is a good example of someone that he gets in the car and immediately like music's going. Like he's got to have music going when he's driving. Yeah. I'm not like that. I will usually not listen to music. So for Chris to not listen to music in the Jetta tells you something.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I didn't.
The only time I won't listen to music There are a few reasons. If the sound system's garbage, Jetta. If the car sounds amazing.
I was going to say, if there's a glorious flat six behind him. Then,
yeah, so if I'm in like a GT3, usually any Porsche, unless it's an SUV, I usually won't listen to music. Or if the head unit doesn't support my phone.
Yes.
So like one of my ancient cars.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've told this anecdote on the podcast before, but at Car and Driver, when we had a long-term Mustang Shelby GT350, the Sirius satellite radio subscription went out in that car, and it took months for anyone to notice because no one ever listened to the radio because they always just listened to the...
Yeah, it does kind of sound like Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that car. So
yeah. I've never driven one.
I know.
Such a shame.
I know.
Well, I've driven them around parking lots, but that doesn't count.
That is one of the few cars...
The clutch feels terrible.
That's one of the few cars that I would, if I got like to a comfortable point of like having some good disposable income and wanted to have a weekend car, that'd be in the top.
Over a Camaro? Because you can't get the GT350 in a convertible.
I know.
Unless you send it to some coach building company and have them sawzall the roof off for you.
I think it'd be easier to just buy a normal Mustang and drop the Shelby motor
Put the Shelby motor in it. Yeah, that'd be the way to go. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I would love to have a Camaro SS 6MT convertible. Two big problems. One, the convertibles in those cars look so dorky with the top up.
They do
looks like
dorky.
a hairdresser's car.
Well, you can just drive it with the top down only.
Right.
Just make sure you can park it inside.
Right. Second, I have to be a Camaro owner then. Oh.
They're good in this. Have you tried it?
No, what is that, honey mustard?
Yeah.
I might. I'm a little fried out for now, but thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, don't even want to look at them anymore.
I wouldn't want to be a Camaro owner, you know what I mean? Because here's the thing. You pull up to a Cars and Coffee in a Camaro SS, and everyone doesn't even look at you. They just go, oh, great, some Camaro person just pulled up. They're going to criticize something. If you pull up in a GT350, people are going to go, oh, that's a GT350. That looks quite good.
It's true. Yeah.
So, and I'm not a vain sort of person, but those would be reasons for me to consider. But at the end of the day, no, you're right. I'd probably just get the Camaro.
Yeah.
Mostly because I'd be too concerned about my GT350 motor being non-operational after 10,000 miles.
That is a thing that they do.
Yeah.
We had this one when I worked at the Ford dealer that was in between fill-ups, like fuel, it was consuming like 4 quarts of oil. Yeah.
A long time at Car and Driver, it was like a quart every 1,000 miles or something like that.
Yeah, so they'd have to, every time they put fuel in it, they'd have to put oil in it as well. And it was a long battle with Ford to get a motor put in it, but eventually they got a warranty motor put in. So,
would you like to promote your sweatshirt today, by the way?
yes, actually, I would like to. If you're all at this point in the podcast, you may actually be interested in this hoodie because it means that you probably like us.
Oh.
So, my good friend Autumn Schwabe, you may have actually heard of her.
It's a fun name.
She's big into drag racing, and she recently had an accident with her car.
Rip.
Which is sad.
Not actual rip.
No, she's fine. She's fine. The
Car
roll
is
cage,
rip.
the car's done, but she came out just fine. She's a little banged up, but she's totally okay. Anyways, though, she has quite a bit of merch left, and this is what she has. So got her little logo on the front, but the back is excellent. I love obnoxious race car hoodies like this, and this is like, I was so happy when she sent me this design before it came out. But take a look at this.
Yes, Autumn Schwabe.
Anyways, you can have a what?
Is there an L in there somewhere?
Yes. So you can have a hoodie, you can have a t-shirt, you can have a hat. The hat just has this little pink AS on it. But if you want to go full car show, crazy graphic, get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a hoodie. Hit me up or
Does she have a
DM
website?
Autumn. No, just DM her on Instagram. I think it's autumn.schwabe on Instagram.
How do you spell that last name?
SCHWALBE. I think.
All right. Just because it doesn't come across well when you just pronounce it.
Yeah, so, or just DM me on Instagram. I also want to apologize if you have tried DMing me on Instagram in the past year. I just went to my requests and got nauseous at the amount of DM requests that I have. And I'm sorry if I missed your message, but Instagram is stupid in the way that it doesn't tell you.
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
notify or anything.
So I went in there and I legitimately have, I think, over 100 DM requests. and I feel really bad. So
Yeah, no,
DM me if you
There you
tried
go.
DMing me, because I've been trying to like reply to them, but what am I gonna click on one from 50 weeks ago and be like, oh, sorry,
I mean,
a
I've
year
done that
ago?
before.
Really?
But
no, I don't want to do that.
No, at this point they've written you off and they've moved on to other
I
YouTube
know, that's
channels
what makes
since
me
you've
sad.
ghosted
Makes
them.
me so sad.
Mm-hmm.
But like some of the recent ones I've gotten, like I just go into the requests folder like once a week and I just check to see if there's any new ones. And usually there's like either none or there's like one, because like
Right.
no one tries DMing me anymore because I don't write back. So
Yep, they're like,
but
yeah,
I try
don't
writing
bother.
back. Sorry.
Further updates on your friends and family. How is Cloud Cookie doing?
Great.
Still shipping a lot of cookies? I
She's
assume
still
some of
shipping a lot of
the
cookies out.
hype
Dude,
has had to
she's-
have died down, right?
You'd think that,
I would.
but she still can't keep up.
Wow.
So I just talked to her the other day and she's like, yeah, orders are insane. She's like, I still can't keep up. Because what she does is she goes live on TikTok and she gets like 1,200 people in the live, which is a lot. For a live, 1,200 people is a lot. And she gets orders every time she goes live. People order because they want to watch her like either package their order or they just want their name said to be like, oh, thanks for your order, so-and-so.
It's kind of smart because if you were you live stream something like cars, you're not going to get people to impulse buy a car usually on like a live stream, even if you had 1,200
But
people.
cookies,
But cookies
it's
are
like-
enough that someone could be sitting at their computer and go, oh yeah,
okay.
that's cool.
$40,
Yeah.
you know, shipped to my house.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty smart on her part.
So yeah, very smart of her, and she's doing great. But if you all haven't tried them yet, go order. And if there's like a notes section, just tell her that I sent you.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll give me an affiliate.
Ooh, dude, if she would give the Daily Motor an affiliate package for
Throw us like $5 per box.
Problem
of
is that she
cookies.
doesn't need any help selling a lot.
She
of
does
cookies.
not, no, because she already can't keep up. So yeah, but no, you should go try them. They're great cookies. They're big, fluffy. If you're someone that likes like thin, crispy cookies, not for you. But if you're someone that likes a big, voluptuous, fluffy, doughy cookie, hers are the best.
It's a bit ironic, given Anne Marie's body type. She's not a big, fluffy, voluptuous
She's not,
cookie,
but her cookies sure
She's
are.
crispy. That can be her tagline. Cool. Well, let's see. Are there any other we've touched in on your mom's car, your friend's race team,
my
your
God,
cousin's cookie.
someone-
You were meeting your cousin's boyfriend to go driving this weekend.
Yes, this week we are attending Bobby Orr's stunt driving school. I think that's what it's called.
Yep.
In Sebring, at Sebring Raceway in Florida, to do some handbrake turns and some Escort ZX2s.
Yeah,
So we'll
that's
see how
gonna be
that goes. That'll be fun. I don't know what to expect. I haven't done much research. I just hope they let me film. It's said that outside cameras aren't allowed, but I'm gonna like show them the channels and be like, look, this is the exposure you could be getting. But if they say no, they say no.
You might want to
Whatever.
hit them up beforehand so that because it might need to go by like an upper level person.
Yeah, so Tori asked,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, just show us when you get here, and we'll decide." Because he already tried asking, and they were like, "Oh, we'll have to see it when you get here,
Okay.
like the camera."
Right. Yeah, maybe they'll be like Chevy and get cross at you for obstructing your
yes.
vision with a GoPro
Well,
on
mine
your
doesn't
hat.
obstruct my vision.
Neither
Yours
does
sits
mine.
lower.
Yeah, but like
Yours sits a little lower. Mine sits up on my forehead, so I
yeah,
don't
how
even
does yours
see
sit
it.
so much higher?
I don't know, but my angle's fine. So.
Yeah, mine, yeah, weird.
Yours is too. Maybe our heads are just shaped differently.
Sometimes I think it's a hat too. I want to shift to a hat that's like a not so deep hat, so that it like the whole thing sits higher. On my
Oh
head.
yeah, go to Fisher Honda and get you a carbon fiber hat.
I did get a GMC hat from this Canyon Drive that might work pretty well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what were we talking? I was gonna say I read a really funny comment on one of the videos that was like, "Oh, Chris's cousin owns Cloud Cookie,
Yeah.
small world," and then someone replied and said, "Chris's family owns most of the small businesses in southeastern Michigan," or something like that.
Sure.
Or in Michigan.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
Which isn't true, by the way, but it's funny.
Your grandfather's Taurus SHO. Are your parents getting ready to sell that?
No, my dad likes driving it.
He
too
does
much.
still like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll get sold eventually. So if you're in the market for a Taurus SHO with like I think it's a 2016. It's got like 30,000 miles on it.
Should sell it as a package deal with the 3 Series.
Should.
Find someone who
50 grand for
specifically
both.
wants both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Weekend car and the weekday car.
Yeah. But I might try and do cars and bids with the Taurus.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
Honestly, 3 Series could even be a cars and bids car with the way it's spec'd. Maybe not since it's just a 28i X drive and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I also don't think it would do super well.
Yeah. Right.
They'd probably want me to run at no reserve, and then it would sell for like $8,000, and my mom would be pissed because the dealership offered her 10 on trade,
Okay.
and Vroom offered 15, which is pretty solid. We've got it listed for 18.5, so if it gets down to it, then
Just let Vroom come pick
just
it
let
up.
Vroom come
Degen-free
take it for
transaction.
15, but 15 is a little less than we want to get. So
Sure. Yeah. That makes
if
sense.
if you are a subscriber and you come out with 17.5 cash,
Yeah.
it's all you.
Especially if you bring like some nice craft beers with you from wherever you came from. That will seal the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris's
And a
dad
bottle
will
of
walk
wine for
out
my mom.
and just be like, "Oh yeah, no, we'll sell it to them."
Yeah. So yeah, we've got title in hand. She's paid off. No accidents. All the service is up to date. It's got fresh Continental tires with like 5,000 miles.
Continental
on 'em.
DW606 Pluses, great tire. Had him on the Tesla as well.
Yeah.
And Amos
So-
is running them now on something, right?
On
his BRZ?
Type R.
Type R. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. I don't know. What else do we have? We always talk about my family.
The other
What about your family, Charlie? Your mother
my
just
mother got
married.
married. Congratulations to now Mrs. Strick.
Strick?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My now stepfather, he does own a certain vehicle though. It is
Oh, no.
Yeah. He's a fan of his Equinox.
Oh, no, Charlie.
So we're hoping that now that he's family, we can try to get
Get him out of it.
Get him into. I mean, I don't think he'd ever quite go CX-5, but maybe the new Trax, or what's another good like American NPC car? I mean, the Escape's just pretty much the same thing. New Escape looks good though. So does the Equinox. Whatever, Steve, you can keep your Equinox. I think it's a lease. To be fair, I think it was
For like $86 a month.
right. I think it was his mother's car, and then his mother got to the point where she shouldn't be driving anymore, and I think he just like assumed it. So he also has a Silverado, and this just keeps miles off his Silverado.
Sounds like my father keeping miles off his F-150.
Yeah, exactly. What is it with men buying $50,000 full-size trucks
And then not driving them?
and then only using the interior of them to haul things and not driving them? I think it's just like a status thing. Yeah.
Whatever.
This week at Daily Motor headquarters, we also had the 2023 BMW 760i, a car that Chris doesn't even want to talk about because then that makes it real that the car has to leave.
Last night, my mother came into my room and she said,
Honey, are you going to be okay?
No, she said, so how much longer do you have that 7 Series? And I said, it goes back tomorrow. And she goes, oh no, I have to go and say goodbye to it. Because she was a big fan.
She's an enthusiast.
She actually filmed a little piece to camera on it for her
Did she
Facebook
really?
to show all of her Facebook friends.
Wow.
She filmed like a little walk around.
Now with all her extra free time after being retired, she's like, I'll do some car
I'll
reviews.
have to show that to you.
Okay.
It's cute.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
I just like filmed her vertically, like
Did
walking
she show
around the car.
the doors like opening and stuff?
Yeah, she showed the theater and everything, and she had a good time. So
She's going to be the next mobile mama.
she's like, I'm in need of a part-time job. Maybe Chris's channel will hire me. And then she does this little walk around. I meant to send it to you and Chris. I forgot.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 7 Series is great. We've talked about it on here before, but striking new looks, great technology package, excellent powertrains from BMW as to be expected. Rear wheel steering helps the car feel much more nimble than it actually is.
Yes.
We do think that the Mercedes S-Class is just a bit more cushy. And if I were being driven around, I'd probably still take the Mercedes. You know one thing I actually missed from the Mercedes that I don't think the BMW provides?
What? Oh, scent.
Scent.
Yeah, Emily asked. She said, does this car have perfume? And I said, no.
That's one of those things that, and maybe Mercedes has a trade or like a patent or something. I don't know. But BMW really upped the wow factor with its automatic doors. I think self-opening and closing doors is a huge and worthwhile way for a car to seem that much more luxurious to the general public.
Right.
But the perfumes in the Mercedes is another great way to do that.
Question for you. Does the XM have automatic doors?
No.
Okay.
Soft close, at least.
Soft close. I just thought maybe how much is that car?
Starts around 160,000.
Okay. Anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 Series is all about wowing your passengers
And the driver.
and the driver.
It's better to drive than the 7 Series or than the S-Class.
Yeah, and I kind of came to that conclusion of from the driver's seat, I'd have the 7 Series for sure. But you also have that really cool, like I put like probably 10 different people in the back of this car during the week just to show them the theater setup. And they were all like, oh my God, this is like people that aren't used to cars or just, and even us.
Yeah.
It's a really big, like, oh my gosh, because who else has that? Nobody has that.
The theater screen?
Yeah.
No one.
No one has it.
No.
Just BMW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a huge deal. It's a giant, 38-inch screen in the back.
Yeah.
8K max resolution. You can plug in HDMI to it. You can
So
Wi-Fi
you game.
stream.
You could game back.
Yeah.
Game
Mm-hmm.
back there.
Yes. Freudian slip. Yeah. The problem is no one who can afford a car like that and put themselves back there is playing video games because they're busy doing business.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't got time for that.
So no one's playing Roblox in the back of the 7 Series is what you're saying.
Likely not. We used to have a very regular viewer on the channel called Lucy Plays Roblox.
Oh.
She was a big live streaming enthusiast.
Okay. A lot of younger kids really like live streams.
Yeah. Well, I think they like to be interacted with because their parents are busy ignoring them.
Oof. Yeah, you're not going to ignore your children, are you?
No. You'd be a very involved father.
You'll be putting them in the back of the Camaro convertible and letting them eat bugs.
Yeah. Going 10 tenths.
Yeah. Oh my God. 10 tenths in the canyons.
Yeah.
Get them a little like baby Stig helmet and
Yep.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, my kids are gonna have all the little Go Fast toys.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the new 7 Series is great. I think BMW did a great job at stepping it up because the 7 Series has always been boring. It's been very beautiful, E38s, but boring. Not anymore. Finally, they said enough is enough. We're gonna make a statement with this car, and they have. And
Their
I quite
villain
like
arc. BMW's villain era.
it. Yep.
Did you think the M760i V12 previous generation car was boring?
Yes.
Why?
It looks boring. Drove boring.
How did it drive boring?
Because all it was a mountain of torque.
It didn't have a lot of torque.
That's all it did. It just went, and then it was done.
It was so fast.
Yeah, you win 100 in it in the blink of an eye, but
Yeah. I think I should have one of those. How much are they?
probably about $30,000 at this point.
Like 200 grand.
Yeah.
What was the first model? You were like 2017
Because Chris,
or 18?
look me in the eye and say that you'd rather have one of those over just a Bentley Continental.
That depends, Charlie.
And what?
What year the Bentley Continental is?
Same year.
Well, the BMW is much cheaper.
You think an M760i would be cheaper than a base Continental of the same year?
I think so. Well, let's find out.
All right.
Let's find, or wait, let me filter this here
Okay.
by cylinders. We're going to click 12 because it's the only one that was a V12.
Mm-hmm. Are you on Auto Trader?
See 95 results. Oh, you know what, though? This is going to give me like every generation. That's okay, though, because we'll just scroll through. Ooh, there's a lot of good classic V12s, but we're going to skip those for now. Okay, so the cheapest M760i on Auto Trader is a 2018
Okay.
with 97,000 miles on it.
Someone used that car.
And it's listed for 47,870.
I wasn't that far off.
You weren't that far off, considering that was probably 180 grand when it was new.
Are you all?
So in 5 years, it's lost $140,000 of value.
Yep.
It looks like the cheapest ones are still around 50 grand, which is just mind-boggling that they've lost that much value. But there's one in Troy for 52 grand. Okay, so go on there and find me a 2018 Bentley Continental for 50 grand, because you won't. You maybe find a 2008 Bentley Continental for 50 grand.
No, you're right. They're starting at 100,000 for 2016.
So it's double the price.
2017. Okay.
So I'd have the
You could have two of
M760i. Yeah.
All right. God, the Bentley Continental is so cool.
Here's one with 44,000 miles on it for 56 grand.
Fortunately, even if half of the cylinders aren't running, you'd still got a decently
Still
powerful
got a nice
car.
inline six.
Yeah.
I drove one of these when it was new, and I'll never forget
Mhm.
when that summer I worked ahead of my
Chicago.
internship at BMW. No, not. Oh, yeah, I drove one that summer too.
Okay.
So I drove one that summer. That was a privately owned car. Frozen. It was a Frozen car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you and I may have drove the same car, remember? Because I drove a Frozen one as well at Car
Yeah,
and
but
Driver.
somebody owned this car, though. But I guess
Oh.
it could have been a previous press car.
No, probably not.
Yeah, it was like a Frozen black.
Okay.
Yours was brown, the one you drove. This one
I
was
think-
black, and it had white interior.
Okay.
It was cool. And then the one I drove when I had the summer internship at BMW was also, I believe, an individual car. I have the VIN for it somewhere because I was like, I'm gonna own this car one day. It was blue. It was like a bright blue, like this blue of
Bright
Honda
blue.
Insight, bright blue, and it had white interior.
The problem is the Mercedes S65 AMG would have been that much better.
Yeah, and you know what? What's coming to face the current one is this crazy plug-in hybrid S63 with 1,200 pound-feet of torque, or not 1,200, 1,050, I think is what it is, pound-feet of torque.
Yeah, you and I did a launch in the 7 Series, and it pulled us back.
Yeah,
Can you fathom?
Double the torque.
Yeah.
It's going to have double the torque of that thing, because that's got about 550 torque.
Yeah.
So
it's going to punch you.
It's going to punch you hard. They're going to have to limit it in like first through.
Oh yeah, because you'll just shatter the drivetrain.
It'll just blow itself to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when do you get 1,200 pound-feet of torque?
Probably in like fourth gear.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm sure it'll still do 60 in under 3 seconds, or somewhere around 3 seconds.
We really are in a golden age of internal combustion right now. And I know that has the plug-in hybrid aspect to it and everything like that. But even this car sitting right out here is just like, I mean, the power numbers we're getting is just crazy. Yeah. Speaking of a lot of power, this week at Daily Motor Headquarters, we are getting a 2023 BMW XM.
Yeah, we foreshadowed that slightly. So the XM is the first standalone M-only car since the M1.
Yes.
And they've decided to go with a massive SUV.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is a new era of 23 rich. Or sorry, 24 rich. We've taken a little bit of a break. Okay, you've got 04 rich, Hummer H2, Escalade, everything. This is the new era of ridiculousness, is the BMW XM. Because what else right now? I guess you could argue the G-Wagon, but the G-Wagon's always been around.
RSQ8.
RSQ8.
But that's a little more performance.
The Urus is, but that's performance-y as well. The XM is just big and there and has like 26-inch wheels.
Yeah, the base wheels are 23s, but you can option 22s.
That's what I would do.
Isn't that funny to be able to option a smaller inch wheel?
Do you know what? Can we see the Monroney of the one we're getting? Is it here yet, by the way?
No, but the other car we're getting this week is.
Oh, it is here. Okay, cool.
You want to see the Monroney of the XM?
Yes.
Come to think of it, I don't think I got a loan agreement for this car.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Probably
Do we have to keep the 7 Series?
Oh, wait. No, I did. Loan agreements always come at the end of last week, so we're good. We're good. All right. It is bringing itself up. I'm actually curious what sort of spec we have, because I drove a beautiful blue one out.
Blue on white, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, if you're curious to see that review on the Topher channel, Charlie did a good review on that.
Oh, thank you. There's also a review on Daily Motor, I think. I think so. I'm pretty sure. I shot 10 videos on that trip.
That's true. Yeah.
No Monroney, but it is Marina Bay Blue Metallic, which is, I think, the color I had.
Yeah.
So this could be
a lot of them are the ones they're distributing. They're all like that Marina Bay Blue, and they all have the 22s.
Okay, good. Well, especially good in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plenty powerful, and I think Chris is gonna like it.
What transmission's in that car? Is it the ZF?
I believe it's.
Or is it a stupid dual clutch?
No. It's an 8-speed.
Okay.
The gentleman's transmission.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
It's going to be nice because I'm going to appreciate driving it on electricity, not using any fuel. Chris will appreciate being able to turn up the Bowers & Wilkins sound system and blat fart himself through gears going 150 miles per hour.
How fast will that thing go? Because I think anything over 120 would be terrifying.
Are you asking allegedly?
What have you done in it? In kilometers per hour, what have you done in it? 1.
Yes. No. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it got right up there. I believe you can get an optional M driver's performance pack or something like that.
So it's very powerful. It doesn't have a third row, does it?
No.
Okay. So it's just big to be big.
Think of this. Just think of a Ford Edge ST, but built by BMW.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's massive. Isn't it huge?
Yeah, but it's still only
Isn't it the size of an X7?
No.
It's smaller than an X7?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it might even
bigger
be
than an
X5.
Oh.
Because an X5 is a third row. It's tight.
I thought the XM was the biggest thing ever.
No, it just looks that way because of the proportions.
In photos, it looks gawping.
Yeah, it's because the giant grill.
I think that it's okay. I don't want to be mean about it.
Also,
I haven't seen it in person, so I don't know.
If the standard XM is not ugly or fast enough for you, you can get the label red one that gives you bright red lipstick on the front and has something like 700 horsepower. Yeah. Oh, it's a properly fun car. I quite like it, and I think
Can
you'll
you
like
hustle it?
Yes. Allegedly. Yes. You just have to not and we're going to say all these same exact things next week, but you have to not take it as an M car. You have to realize that M now is not a performance brand, it's a lifestyle brand. If you think of M as lifestyle, you go, oh, I get this car. If you think of this car as an M car, you're going to be disappointed because it's 6,000 pounds and it's an SUV.
Is it 6,000 pounds? Wow. So it's how could it be 1,000 pounds more than the 7 Series?
Plug-in hybrid.
It's got to be massive. I think you're downplaying how big the thing is.
I might. Well, you look up the dimensions of the current X5, and I'll look up the dimensions of the BMW XM. Today, this week, on the most interesting Daily Motor podcast ever to be recorded. All right,
Okay.
what is your length?
194 inches.
Okay, the XM is 201.
Okay, so it's quite a bit longer. Width?
79?
79.
Yeah. Height?
69.
69. So it's just a little bit longer.
So it's like a longer X5.
Look up.
Wait, hold on a second. How long is it?
201?
Okay, the X7 is 204, so it's closer in size to an X7. It's like between an X5 and an X7.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize it's that long.
That's massive.
You see in the photos how it just, the way the hood line comes up, it just makes it look like bigger and longer, I guess.
It's doing a big sniff.
Yeah, big sniff's a great way to put it. Yeah. The other car we have this week is one I'm quite excited for, and Chris has already driven. It's kind of like the opposite, because I've already driven the XM, and you've already driven the 2023 Toyota Supra 6-speed
manual
3-liter.
3-liter premium.
Yep.
I think it's the same exact car as the blue one.
I don't know. That's probably that's blue. I don't think I've ever.
Stratosphere.
Is it dark blue?
No, it's like this.
Oh, at Car and Driver, our long termer was a dark blue. It looked.
I think
nice.
this is, if this car had the tan, which I guess ours could, but the one that I drove out to Hocking Hills was a Stratosphere over black, and it was gorgeous. The wheels you get on the manual car are awesome. I think I read the Monroe, and I think it's the same car, but yeah, the Stratosphere is like the best. It's the color I get now.
Yeah, 6-speed manual. I
B58.
am expecting it to be more fun than the M2.
This is the only B58 manual car, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is an S58 because the M2 gets the S58.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what Charlie thinks about it over the M2.
I suspect that I will be inhibiting the traction control when we go out to test drive it.
It was fun following the Topher in that car in his Civic Type R because I was just gripping everywhere and he's just flogging it around, and it was so cool. I love watching him drive.
Are we driving? Oh yeah, we're also driving a Ford Bronco this week. You're not.
Heritage Bronco. I probably won't be. I might tomorrow. We'll see.
I'll send you some photos. I wonder how it looks, because some of the Heritage ones look really cool, and some of them just look like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Oh. You said you have some Copart cars for us.
Oh, I do. Yes. Or is it that time already?
Mm-hmm.
I've got some. I think they're all for you, actually, Charlie. I don't think any of them are really for me. All right, here's number 1, 566 174 72.
This is a 2000.
Yeah, this is for you.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And it's in the UP, isn't it?
Yes.
I can tell by the wood paneling and the
tell by the
they're just in some man's shop. Yeah, garage.
It's in a pole barn.
Yeah. 2014 Mitsubishi Mirage DE. You know,
what does that mean?
Do you know of any other brands that use D in their
Does it stand for
trim?
D?
D-Gen edition. That could be.
What color is it?
Very pink. Bubblegum is almost the phrase I would use.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's excellent.
Yeah.
It's been hit in the front.
Yep.
And hit in the rear.
We could get this and just have it at the track out in Jackson.
Oh my gosh, you know how fun that would be to just.
So it has a handbrake, right?
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And then
is it a manual?
No.
Oh.
However, so that's Wanda. Okay, I also have Cosmo. Cosmo and Wanda. Do you get that reference?
Oh, yeah. So
that's Wanda. Here's Cosmo.
Okay.
This would be what you duel it against on the track. 495 143 43.
This is a 2014 Chevrolet Spark LS.
And it's manual.
Ooh, very nice. Very
Yes.
nice.
So you'd get the pink Mirage, the green Spark, and you could have a little racing series.
Yes.
And not repair either of them.
No. You can just do the Top Gear style where they just hit each other a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. That's quite good. I would want to throw I guess the Spark would be fine, but a Chevy Aveo would be great to throw in there as well.
Yes.
Yep. That would be a lot of fun.
It would.
I quite
Yeah.
like.
Which one would you have, the Mirage or the Spark? Probably the Spark because it's manual.
Oh, yeah, Spark is the manual, but I mean that airbag is. I can't believe they put airbags in the back of this, but side curtain airbag back there is quite blown. Whereas
That's okay.
the Mirage was very easy.
Cut
to
it out
fix.
with a razor blade.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Side note: there was a Spark identical to this circling around the office complex here while I was filming the sound test. So afterward, I went and drove up to it and was like, "Can I help you?" And they're like, "Yeah, do you know where Leaf Guard is?" And I was like, "Follow me." You would appreciate that it was missing a headlight.
Oh.
Didn't look that far off of
Completely
this
missing
one.
a headlight.
Yep.
There's just no headlight.
On one side. Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got another one for you. This one's got a tasty buy it now price. 463 419 33.
How do you think Mitsubishi would feel if instead of us trying to get a loaner from them, since they've given up on that,
We can just buy the
we would
pink
just
one
buy the pink one and review that, but pretend it's just a
and
new one.
thrash it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh. This is a 2010 Chrysler PT Cruiser GT, meaning it's the turbocharged 2.4.
Where do you see
liter.
that it's a GT?
Oh shoot. No, I'm sorry. I thought I saw GT, but
No,
I saw PT.
It's a 2.4, but
It's just the NA 2.4.
yeah, anyways, it could be yours today for just $700, and it runs and drives with 147,000 miles.
That's too much. You just stack Copart fees on there and everything.
Yeah, it'd end up being like $1,200 bucks.
Because you could probably find one of these, just on Facebook Marketplace in the same condition for.
Not for $1,200 bucks.
Yeah, 2010.
That's a fairly new one.
There's 200,000. Oh no, there's only 145,000 miles on it.
I think that's a smoking deal.
Okay, well, go buy it then.
No.
The body style is Sports V, according to Copart. I don't know what that means.
SUV probably.
Mm.
Okay, I've got one more for you.
Is it some sort of Miami blue Porsche?
No, but if you'd rather see okay, tell me what you'd rather see, the Buick or the Porsche?
Both.
Okay.
Those are my two favorite brands of car.
Okay. Well, we'll start with the Buick.
Okay.
478 01043.
This is a 2013 Buick Regal GS that has been a bit damaged, but it's a pure sale out of Ionia.
So have you ever driven one of these?
No.
Keone's wife drives one.
Right. I think they're decent.
Yeah.
They look kind of cool. Buick has always made good sleepers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's an automatic. You could have a 6-speed manual, though, in these.
Mm-hmm. No, it seems like a decent deal. I bet Alyssa would like driving one of these.
Yeah, I bet she would.
Probably not super fuel efficient.
I bet it's decent. It's just a 2-liter.
Yeah. All right.
Front-wheel drive, too, so I bet it's not bad at all.
Front wheel peels.
All right, here's the final one, which I may have already showed, actually. And this car sold a couple weeks ago, and the person...
Cayenne.
Yeah, the GTS. Did we already show it? Cayenne
I don't
GTS.
think you showed the GTS. Might as well look.
Okay, well, we'll just look at it. 458 313 83. It now has a buy it now, which it did not before. 458 313 83.
Okay, this is a 2008 Porsche Cayenne GTS. Buy it now for $4,000. That's pretty decent. Although the
That's
secondary
too much.
damage is
It's
mechanical.
pretty messed up.
Yeah. Or you could get a lot for parts, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could part that thing out and probably be better off than fixing it.
Even the GTS badge on the back is probably worth $60.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking up fuel economy on that Regal because I'm just curious.
Okay.
2013 Regal E-Assist. What the hell? What was that? Buick Regal E-Assist? I don't know what that is.
Well, they made a Malibu back then with a hybrid, so they probably put the same
Put
one
it
in
in a
the
Regal.
Regal.
All right, Buick Regal 2-liter. Age 1 to 8 of 8 vehicles. Oh, here we go. 2-liter turbo. 28 highway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not great.
No. You probably actually got 30 when you're just putzing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, manual 6-speed got 27.
Hmm.
So it got 1 mpg worse if you got the manual.
And the problem is with EPA testing with manuals is they have to shift at certain points.
Oh.
And oftentimes that doesn't result in very good EPA numbers. But in the real world, when you can just get right into 6, it does well.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in if you've made it this far into a very slappy and slow.
If you've made it this far, comment, I love Arby's.
Yeah, good point. I love Arby's if you've made it this far. We'll give you nothing, but you can feel good about it because we'll see that as we scroll through comments.
Charlie and I will
the week.
send you this extra marinara.
Don't do that because last time you said that. I actually have to send the things out.
Okay,
Chris will send it out.
No, we're not.
Chris
we're not
will go to
sending you
Manny
the
and send
marinara.
it.
No,
God,
no,
can you
no.
imagine? It like bursts open on shipping.
One time in high school, we had a friend that already had a house. Well, he had graduated high school. Anyways, he had a mailbox, and we put a bunch of Chick-fil-A sauce in his mailbox, and it exploded all over his mail.
Oh, no.
And he was not pleased.
Boys in high school are just heathens. It's kind of fun. We'll be back at you next week to discuss our time with 2 cool cars, and we got 2 cool cars coming after that too: the Nissan Ariya and finally the Acura Integra
6MT.
Yeah, which is fitting because I'll be driving the Integra Type S a few weeks afterward.
Oh, you're going to that?
Yep, covering it for miles.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone for watching. We'll see you on the next one. We are Paris and Nicole this week with Daily Motor, and as always,
Arby's on.
I was going to say 6-speed manual, but yes, Arby's on. Where are you getting off to so quickly?